Okay, so what if you could have a top-tier financial analyst on your team? Someone who's ready to go 24/7, building complex models, and it costs you basically nothing. Well, that's the promise of AI today, but you know what? Most people are leaving almost all of its power on the table. So let's dive into the framework that's going to change all that.
First things first, let's just get a sense of the old way of doing things. If you want to hire a junior analyst right out of college, you're looking at a cost for the firm of over $200,000, all in. That's the price tag for human brain power doing complex financial models. Now, look at this. You can run a full, complete, discounted cash flow valuation, which is, a core task for any analyst, using a leading AI model for less than $1. The cost is so low, it pretty much rounds to zero. And that brings us to the big question, right? If we've got this incredibly powerful, super cheap tool, why are so many people getting back work that feels like it was done by a summer intern? I mean, the potential is there, but the results? They're often vague, you can't really trust them, and frankly, you can't use them to make any serious decisions. Here's the thing. The problem isn't that the AI is failing. It's that we're failing to communicate properly. See, the AI is extremely literal. It has no idea what your professional standards are. It's not going to fill in the blanks like a human colleague would. So the quality of what you get out is a direct one-to-one reflection of the quality of what you put in. And this slide really puts the problem in a nutshell. On the left, that's what most of us do, right? A simple command, like we're typing into a search engine. But on the right, that's the sophisticated, defensible analysis we actually need. The AI can't just magically bridge that huge gap on its own. It needs way better instructions. So this is the most crucial point. We don't have to sit around and wait for some magical next-generation AI to get better results. The solution is here right now, and it's all about learning how to structure our requests. We have to stop just asking questions and start giving detailed instructions. And that is exactly where this framework comes in. It's a set of 6 core principles for writing prompts that will get you professional-grade financial analysis every single time. This is how you unlock what the AI can really do. All right, so the framework is built on 6 key ideas. First, you phase your prompts. This just means you force the AI to lay out its plan before it starts crunching numbers. Super important for getting a logical approach. Next, you use something called XML tags to give it clear structure. Then you use labeled fields for your data instead of just vague descriptions. You also build in verification steps, literally telling the AI to check its own work. Then you make it flag its own uncertainty, so you know exactly where it's making educated guesses. And finally, you always tell it exactly how you want the final output to look. Let's just zoom in on those XML tags for a second. This is not just a little formatting trick. These AI models were literally trained to recognize these tags as structural markers. When you use them, you remove all the guesswork. You're telling the AI, hey, this part is background info, this part is a direct order, and this part is a hard rule. And that same idea of being super clear applies to your data. Don't just write a paragraph describing a company. You've got to provide precise, labeled inputs. When you do that, the AI uses the data exactly as you gave it. But if you just feed it a paragraph, it will quietly start making its own assumptions to fill in the gaps. And that's exactly how you end up with results you can't trust. Think about it like this. Any good financial model you build in Excel has internal checks to make sure the balance sheet actually balances, right? Well, your prompts need to do the same thing. You can actually tell the AI to verify its own work. Tell it to explicitly confirm that the cash on the balance sheet matches the cash flow statement. It's a simple step that makes the whole thing so much more reliable. Okay, so theory is one thing. Let's see how this all comes together in the real world. Because the difference between a basic prompt and a structured one, well, it's night and day. So here is the typical approach. A single, vague sentence. This kind of prompt is basically an invitation for the AI to just invent numbers and make a bunch of hidden assumptions. The output might look okay at first glance, but it'll fall apart the second you put it under any real scrutiny. And now, look at this. This is the framework in action. Just look at that structure. It's got context and tags. It breaks the instructions down into phases. Methodology first, then build, then challenge. And it lays out clear rules and a very specific output format. This doesn't just give you an answer. It produces a defensible, investment committee-ready analysis. So getting good at this is about way more than just getting better answers from a chatbot. It's about fundamentally changing the entire workflow of financial analysis. And this is a huge deal, especially because the tech underneath all this is getting more powerful by the day. And get this, for these specific financial tasks, the best model isn't even the most expensive one. The Sonnet 4.6 model actually beats out the flagship models from its own company and its competitors on a benchmark for financial analysis. So you're getting top-tier performance for a fraction of the cost. And it's not just about thinking anymore. The AI's ability to actually do things has just exploded. I mean, its score on performing real computer tasks like logging into software or clicking through a website has leaped from less than 15% to over 72% in under 2 years. It's going from being a calculator to a true digital partner. And this is where it all comes together. The AI is no longer stuck inside a chat window. It can actually live inside your Excel spreadsheet. And with new tools, it can pull live data directly from sources like S&P Global, FactSet, and Moody's. This isn't a chatbot workflow anymore. It's a completely integrated data and analysis pipeline. So what's the big takeaway here? Here's your new AI playbook. Number 1, always make the AI show its work. Force it to explain its methodology before it does any math. 2, use tags and labels to give your requests a clear, unambiguous structure. 3, build in those verification steps to make sure it's accurate. 4, and this one's huge, make the AI be honest about its own assumptions and where it's uncertain. And finally, number 5, never leave the output format up to chance. Always tell it exactly how you want the results to look. We've seen that the real limit here isn't the power of the model. It's our ability to direct that power. And that means the most valuable skill is shifting away from doing the analysis to designing the analysis. So the final question is, if crafting the perfect prompt is the new core skill, what problems are you going to solve with it?